Go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Welcome back to my channel. And if you've never been here before, this is about the 300th time I've sat down to make a James Charles video and felt wildly uncomfortable about it. Initially, I was just going to cover the fact that Jimmy Chuck had, sexted more teenagers. And then today, squishy Tony Lopez decided to upload a video. So we're gonna address both of those things. I fell asleep on the floor earlier. If you are a returning viewer to my channel, thank you. I appreciate you. It's good to see you. You look fantastic. Have you done something different? So like I said, today we're back again for another installment in the James Charles saga. Today it's, an episode of
Control Yourself, James Charles.
Please, just spit. Yes, folks, James Charles has done it again. And by it, I mean sent inappropriate messages to minors. And also made another apology video for sending inappropriate messages to minors. So before we get into his apology, which we're going to go through pretty much point by point, two more people have come forward to talk about their experience being in contact with James Charles. Contestant number one was actually of legal age, a consenting adult who James essentially demanded sent him photos, and in exchange James sent him money. Photos are free on the internet, and there's porn, and I don't like a lot of Buffalo Bill vibes. Contestant number two was, you guessed it,
A minor.
16 according to the comments on the TikTok, according to Def Noodles, because the TikTok was deleted. And let's just take a quick glance at the things that this 21-year-old man thought were appropriate to send to a literal child. Why? He hasn't even hit puberty yet, James Gum. Get a fucking hobby. Go for a run. Read. Write. Play solitaire. Do a puzzle. Take up knitting. Find something to do. Download Grindr. This one I have a problem with because this is super predatory. Even if you are not underage, this is an inappropriate thing to send to somebody. This is pressuring someone into sending you photos. This is the type of message that would be like followed up by like an unsolicited dick pic. He gives off big dick energy and you give off predator energy. Pick me up for some roadhead. Why? Did he just get his driver's license? Now let's get to James's video. First of all, what the fuck is going on with that hair? Who sat on his head? Why is it smashed down? I don't know, I'm sister stumped on that one. Alright, we're not here to roast James's hair, we're just here to roast his character.
Hello everyone, James Charles here, and today I'm going to be making a very important video about
a very important topic.
I fully understand my actions and how they are wrong.
Do you now? Because I really believe that you don't. Actually, I really believe that you do, you just don't care.
I think it's important that I provide a trigger warning for this video. There's going to be topics and things talked about that are very, very sensitive.
This is a PSA for everybody, not just James Charles. This is not how a trigger warning works. Saying trigger warning is not the warning. You need to be warning them about a specific trigger. If you're not telling them the subject matter of what might be triggering, you're not protecting them from anything. Please, for the love of God, don't just go,
hey, trigger warning.
Here's that thing that's pretty horrible.
You gotta let people know what the trigger might be. Thank you.
Two different people, both under the age of 18, have recently come forward saying that they had inappropriate messages with me on social media. One of them being from last year and one of them being from more recent. In both of these cases, I added these people on Snapchat, asked how old they were right away, was told that they were 18, believed them, engaged in a flirty conversation, and then later on found out that they were actually 16.
Ask their ages. You literally wished one of them a happy birthday. There's no way that you didn't know how old they were. And I'm sorry, but none of these boys look close to 18. If you
The receipts and the screenshots and the specific details of the interaction really don't matter because I fucked up.
No, the specific details do matter because you fucked up. But they don't matter the way that you think they matter. Because the receipts that you can provide and all the ways you can prove them wrong, no, that doesn't matter. Because what they can provide says enough. Whether or not a child lied to you about their age, which I don't necessarily believe that in every situation that is the case, whether or not a child lied to you, you are in the wrong, period. That's not a thing that even needs to be said. It feels like a manipulation tactic.
These conversations should have never happened, point blank period. There's no excuse for it, there's no ifs, ands, or buts, and I take full responsibility for that. I trusted the information that was given to me rather than the information I could have and should have gotten myself.
There's no excuses except the one I'm about to make. You are still missing the point. Stop looking for dick in your fan base. Point blank period, sister.
But I didn't do the research, and that is what is so embarrassing.
Honey, all the research you needed to do was using your eyeballs and taking a glance at the children who were sending you messages.
To the guys involved with the situation.
Boys. To the boys involved in the situation. They're boys. They're children.
I'm sorry that I added you. I'm sorry that I flirted with you. And I'm really sorry if I ever made you uncomfortable. I was being reckless.
Predatory. You were being predatory.
I started doing a lot of thinking and reflecting to really try and figure out why I was actually allowing myself to be so reckless in the first place.
Predatory.
Relationships were the one outlier. Why were they not working? Why was this area of me so different? And I finally came to a conclusion. It sucks and it is ridiculously embarrassing to admit this, but I think I have to, and that is that I'm desperate.
Desperate. We're going with desperate. We're going with desperation. We're going for the incel excuse. I'm so tired of hearing men say things like that. I'm desperate. You're desperate for love, so you continue to send lewd photos to teenagers? Look for dick in your fan base, which is largely children? Really? That's the angle we're going with?
My hope has always been to be in a relationship with somebody around my age or older that I can relate to and that can make me laugh.
Oh, okay. So what we're not gonna do is lie. We're not gonna lie today.
I'm not physically attracted to older guys, which sucks. Like, I would date like the absolute youngest, like 18, 19 that looks a little bit old, guys that live in different states and stuff. And I'm like, hey, like, why don't you come visit? And like, well, I can't afford a plane ticket. Yep. And it's like, okay, well, I can. So like, get on the plane. And like, well, I just don't really feel comfortable with that. But like, I love you and I really want to be together. And I'm like, well, we can't be together because you can't afford a plane ticket. You're probably still in either high school or college, like a senior in high school or in college.
Okay? We're not gonna lie.
The idea of actually being in a relationship became so important to me that I was willing to trust too quickly, miss out on red flags.
Victim blaming. Look at it. Bright, shiny victim blaming. Is anyone over the age of 14 buying this crap? Okay, James spends like several minutes talking about how he's very inexperienced in dating and looking for love and basically trying to pull you in with the whole desperation side of this story, this hook, this humanization. And I'm really struggling to see where sending lewd photos and flirting with teenagers repeatedly over the course of the past few years has anything to do with finding love. Because he's making this out like I'm on this quest for love and I haven't been able to find it. I've been searching in my For You page and they all keep lying to me and they end up being kids. At what point are we supposed to go,
Oh God. James, oh, I knew there was a human interest story in there somewhere.
no.
In 2019, when I had my whole situation, I was accused of abusing my fame, money, and power to get what I wanted. And when I responded to that at the time, I said that that was disgusting and that I would never want to do that. And to this day, I still stand behind that sentiment 1000%.
You sure?
They DM'd you first. They lied to you. They flirted first. Like, you didn't use your fame, money, and power to get anything. But I've now realized that that mentality is completely wrong because a power imbalance can happen even when it's not intentional.
Okay.
Even though I'm able to turn off my social media and just talk to somebody outside of the spotlight about something normal, in normal clothes and no makeup on as James Dickinson, that doesn't change the fact that to them, I'm still James Charles. And that's something that I can't turn off.
Yeah, okay, I get that. You know, celebrities have a hard time meeting people out in the world because they're celebrities and people don't tend to forget that they're celebrities. However, if you met someone out in the world, you wouldn't have to ask them for like ID because like you would know they were legal and, you know, over 18. And the thing is they might not know who the fuck you are anyway.
And that's where the power imbalance lies that I wasn't understanding. But I'm so glad that I finally do.
Yeah, you got in there just a shade under like 3 years and like 15 to 35 minors coming forward to say that you had sent them lewd photos and asked that they do the same. Right, yeah, you really figured it out just in time.
When it comes to the ways that I was looking for a relationship, I didn't do the proper research.
Oh God, I can't with the research shit. I can't with the research shit. I can't.
That I now fully understand the situation, so I'm able to do better in the future.
So what, like when you DM somebody now, you're gonna send out like a digital NDA just to cover your ass in the future? Is that what's gonna happen?
The only way to actually show and prove that you are sorry is through action and change.
Okay, David Dobrik. I mean, I agree, but like, really? Really?
I also have already started asking for proper identification from every single guy that has either reached out or that I was speaking to.
Go meet people in the real world. You are famous, but not that fucking famous.
To the victims, I am so sorry. And I promise that something like this will never, ever happen again.
Won't happen again, at least for like another like 2 or 3 weeks.
I also feel like I owe an apology to my friends, family, team members, and also fans.
Hey, you know who didn't get an apology? I don't know, the parents of the children you sent lewd photos to? I would be apologizing to them. Because if you're going to have a problem with anybody, it's probably going to be them.
I'm going to be taking some time away to reflect and further educate myself on these topics.
Of course you're taking time off. Of course you are. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, the privilege to take time off when you turn on a camera and admit to the internet, to your millions of followers. It's a multiple occasion occurrence, and you literally turned on a camera and said, yeah, I did this, which is great. You can admit that you've done that, but that's a crime. And the fact that James Charles has the audacity to come on camera and be like, oh yeah, look, I did this thing, but like, let me tell you how it's not gonna happen again, you know, for like the 45th time, and like, and is not being investigated or going to jail. Like, that's, I mean, that a lot of the words that he said sounded good on paper, you know what I mean? If you didn't know the situation at all. But I'm sorry, I'm not buying a word of it. This is a perfectly good apology if you are a 13-year-old James Charles stan. This is a perfectly good apology if this had happened once. But at this point, this is something that is happening all of the time. I don't think this is the last we're gonna hear of things like this. I think wow. What is it gonna take for James to see actual repercussions? Because it does feel like another man in a position of power with a lot of money and a big platform is getting away with actual crimes, and crimes that affect children. At what point does it become a bigger issue than everybody on Twitter going,
oh God, again?
Where are the repercussions? I feel like this is either gonna go one of two ways. It's either gonna be he's gonna get off scot-free, he's gonna take a little break, he's gonna come back and like nothing happened. Or his admission that this is a thing that actually did happen is gonna bite him in the ass. And I hope that that is the case, because I stand by the fact that he needs to lose sponsors. He needs to lose his AdSense. He needs to lose access to all social media. If Snapchat and Instagram and TikTok do not kick him off the platform, they are complicit. He's done this several times over the past few years, and no one's doing anything. So what's it gonna take? Because this ain't it. Sorry, sister. This taking accountability is not taking accountability. The more I talk about it, the more I'm like really angry. My final thoughts: I think James Charles should not be allowed to have a platform. I think he should be deplatformed. And I'm not someone who's like, deplatform so-and-so. I think he should be deplatformed. I think the minute you are deemed a danger to your audience, you should be deplatformed. That's all I have for you today. What are your thoughts? What are you thinking? Tell me about it. I'm sure I missed something that I wanted to say, and I'm gonna be really pissed about it while I'm editing this. If you like this video, please feel free to give it a like. If you didn't like this video, please feel free to give it a dislike, because engagement is engagement, and I love engagement. Thank you so much for engaging with me. I'm finally engaged. Please feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. I make new videos whenever I feel like it. Really weird video coming out when we hit 1,000 subs, so I'm getting dangerously close to having to film that. Turn on the post notifications if you want to be notified, annoyed, irritated, bothered. If you want me to bug the shit out of you anytime I make a video, just turn them post notifications on. I hope you have a wonderful day, sisters, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.